अब क्या बताऊं मैं, अब क्या बताऊं मैं, तेरे मिलने से क्या मिला। अब क्या बताऊं मैं, तेरे मिलने से क्या मिला। अब क्या बताऊं मैं, अब क्या।
Sahavas means the give and take of love. I am the only beloved, and you are all my lovers. I am the only lover, and you are all my beloveds. It is I alone who bow down to myself and embrace myself. It is I who smile, I who weep. It is Baba who sits on the dais, and it is Baba squatting on the floor of the pandal. Baba meets Baba. Baba comforts Baba. It is Baba who pats each one lovingly, and it is Baba who is being patted. It is all Baba, Baba, Baba. This is my experience of the Sahavas.
इरफान गम हुआ मुझे दिल का पता मिला, इरफान गम हुआ मुझे दिल का पता मिला। अब क्या बताऊं मैं, तेरे मिलने से क्या मिला।
The 1958 Sahavas was unique in many ways. As I had said, that this is the first Sahavas in which Baba was gracious to permit his lady disciples to avail of the opportunity, this divine opportunity. And the second important aspect of this Sahavas, to my mind, is it was probably one of the first Sahavas during which Baba's birthday was celebrated, because that memorable event also took place during this Sahavas period. And the third important aspect of this Sahavas is, to my mind, that it was the last Sahavas that Baba had organized in Meherabad. Before the Sahavas had started, Baba had mentioned that when you come to the Sahavas, you devote your entire attention to me. You forget your worries, your whatever responsibilities and whatever things that may have bothering you in your home, at your respective places. You forget everything and you take the maximum advantage of my company and maximum advantage of your fortune of being in my company.
The main thing about it was the atmosphere. To me it was like, being in midst of a tremendously large family. And I do not know about others, but I can very honestly say for myself that in that particular tent, Samya and all, I had no thought or anything like that about, caste, or this man is Hindu, or this man is Muslim, or I am Parsi, nothing like that. Beloved Baba's presence was so very infinitely powerful that all such minor details completely disappeared. And literally every one of us would greet like we were long lost brothers.
The most important aspect of Sahavas has always been, according to me, it's a love feast gathering. Baba had said, forget everything, be very intimate and just think of me. It is intimacy with the God-man. You see, I am coming to your level now and holding this Sahavas for this reason only, so that we can have an intimate gathering of all Baba lovers. It's not you are just meeting me, because my lovers are also there. And particularly 1958 program was where women also were participating.
After the final declaration meeting in 1954 and the men's Meherabad Sahavas in 1955, Baba was besieged by women in the families of his lovers, pleading to have a chance to enjoy his presence at a Sahavas. Their longings would finally be fulfilled at the Meherabad Sahavas of 1958.
We were taken to Meherabad. And I was very surprised that after we checked in, we found all the beds for us. It was not on the ground. And Baba had arranged that let my lovers have a bed each, And at that time, to get all these beds for how many people? We were, I think, about 750 to 1,000 people. That's what we heard. We had, and the mattress and everything, sheets, pillows, everything that Baba had provided us. And we were really very surprised. What?
Pandal was full of people. There were no chairs. Everybody had to sit on the floor. And we were all young at that time. We were able to sit very comfortably. I still remember my sister Dhan was brought over. For her sake, only one chair was brought and she was made to sit on that.
At the same time that Baba was making plans for a women's Sahavas, Baba was also making plans for a combined East-West Sahavas. During his visit to the Meher Center in Myrtle Beach in 1956, Baba indicated that before he broke his silence, he would like to have a Sahavas which could be attended by his lovers from both the East and the West. During that time of excitement among Baba's lovers for an anticipated combined East-West Sahavas, the unexpected news of Baba's second car accident in Satara reached them. This was a terrible shock to everyone, and the opportunity for the upcoming Sahavas seemed to have quickly and dismally vanished. Baba's second car accident brought tremendous physical and mental suffering to Baba. But as soon as he began to recover, he started planning the Sahavas again. But now the possibility of 3 separate Sahavas were discussed. And in late November 1957, Baba decided that an Eastern Sahavas would be in Meherabad in February 1958, and 2 Western Sahavas would be held. One in Myrtle Beach in May, and then an Australian Sahavas in June 1958. Baba said that whether he has pain or not, the Sahavas would happen. He told his Mandali that while working in his name, one should have faith in him. But it was a time of suffering for Baba. Baba had daily fevers, and his hip pain persisted. Nevertheless, Baba informed all the group heads via telegram that the Sahavas would be held in spite of his physical health. From the 9th of February, Baba started visiting Meherabad daily to check on the progress of the arrangements. Meticulous arrangements were made by Pendu with the assistance of Bhau, Padri and others. 2 separate tents for men and women were erected on the east side of the Rahuri cabin. A dining tent to accommodate 1,000 people was also erected. A large darshan pandal was erected for the meetings. A dais at the east end of the darshan pandal was constructed for Baba's seat. Behind Baba's seat, there were large photographs of the 5 perfect masters surrounding Baba's photo in the center. The entire camp was connected with electricity and water taps. The Eastern Sahavas was scheduled for 2 weeks, between 14th and 26th of February. Each week would be attended by 2 language groups.
This time Baba decided that he would still have language groups, but instead of splitting them into 4 different groups, he could combine 2 groups of each section and call them together. So in the first group, Baba decided that he would have the Hindi and Marathi groups together. and in the second group to have the Telugu and the Gujarati and the rest together. Of course, English was the main language that was used to give out Baba's, to interpret Baba's gestures, and then there would be translators who would translate them into those languages.
Finally, the day of the Sahavas arrived. Over 750 Hindi and Marathi-speaking lovers arrived at Meherabad on Friday afternoon, February 14th. Women were included in the Sahavas for the first time. But a seed of doubt was sown in the hearts of the Sahavasis whether Baba would show up for the Sahavas. The evening before, they received a word from Baba that because of his hip pain and fever, he may not come to Meherabad on the first day of the Sahavas. Amidst their doubts, Baba arrived there at 8 a.m. He got down from the car and, using crutches, he walked to the dais in the Darshan Pandal. Baba stated,
This Sahavas will be unique in the sense that you will witness and share my present universal suffering by being near me as my fortunate companions.
With the help of Erich and Kaka, limped to the dais.
I may give you more, much more, than you expect, or maybe nothing, and that nothing may prove to be everything. So I say, come with open hearts to receive much or nothing from your divine beloved. Come prepared to receive not so much of my words, but of my silence.
Baba began the Sahavas by saying,
This will be the last Sahavas, so I want you to be happy and draw as much of my love as possible. Make the most of this opportunity. I am the ocean of love. It rests with you to draw as much love as you can from the ocean. It does not rest with me to explain to you how to love me. Try to understand this. Suppose a man loves a woman, and vice versa. Is it ever possible for the man to tell the woman, or the woman to tell the man how they should love each other? One thing is certain. I want to give you as much of my love as possible, but it rests with you to receive it. The easiest way is for you to forget your home, family, and worldly affairs when you are here and try to be receptive to my love. This is the first thing required to absorb the maximum of my love. The second thing is to feel completely comfortable, have a good night's rest, sleep well each night, so that when you come daily for my Sahavas, you will feel fresh. I am God, and if you doze in my presence, you will miss me, and your drowsiness will force you to remain absent from my presence in spite of your daily attendance. The meaning of Sahavas is intimate companionship. In order to establish this relationship, you should be free with me. You should try to be as intimate with me as possible.
So I was sitting at the feet of Baba, just near the dais, and I had kept the diary on the dais at Baba's feet, and I was writing. And Baba was explaining, Baba was exchanging the pleasantries with different groups and teasing people and making them as natural and as comfortable as possible. And then after some time, he looked at me as I was taking down the notes, and you know what he said? Baba said to me that, Digamber, it is good that you are taking notes. Maybe at some point I will ask you to remind me what I had said earlier, because you know that now I am 60 years old, and after 60 the memory of a man, it starts fading. So that was such a humorous remark, and it touched my heart so much.
And he really came down to the human level, but at the same time reminding regularly, don't forget, I'm the God man.
Baba washed his hands, and then the Pavadigar prayer and the prayer of repentance was read out. The Pune Bhajan group started their ghazals, and Baba started to meet the Sahavasis one by one, asking them personal questions about their lives and creating the intimacy that he wished for. Baba stated,
Drink deep at the fountain of love, but don't lose consciousness. If you taste even a drop of this love, what a wonderful experience you will have.
After the day's program, Baba went back to Meherabad at 5 p.m. One week before the Sahavas began, Baba was in Bombay and dictated 7 messages to be displayed at the Sahavas program. According to Baba's instructions, these 7 messages were translated in Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, and Telugu languages and were displayed at various Sahavas sites.
In the beginning of the month, I paid a quick visit to Bombay, which is now known as Mumbai. And when he was there, he was giving darshan to his Bombay lovers there. And when he was there, he spontaneously gave out a few messages. Short and very, very apt and very beautiful. And it seemed Baba was trying to give out these messages in preparation for the forthcoming Sahavas. So when these were given out, Baba said, get these messages painted on boards. So what I'm giving you now, and have these displayed at Meherabad when the Sahavas begins. So some 7 messages were given out, and they are beautiful.
And then Baba said, go in the Mandli hall. I have kept all the sayings about what this Sahavas was meant for. Then, during the lunchtime, I asked my sister, and I asked, would you like to come in? Let's write down quickly because we will otherwise take a long time. So I and my sister went there with rough paper and a pencil and wrote down all what was on the board. Different, which I still have it. And I hardly can read it because it has become very faint with pencil.
All of this world is a way to you. All of the heavens are under you. Yes, there are all kinds of loves and so many ways to find you. But there's only one way to hold you. To believe in you, darling Lord, that's to love you, to love you, to love you, and to please you. There'll be so many ways to stray from you. so many loves that seem as true. But if we honor you, knowing who you are, then you will guide us to the journey's end. Yes, you will guide us to the journey's end. Yes, there are diamonds and lights in the night, with all kinds of promise that dreams will come true. We are the lambs in the meadow, but wolves in the wood wait nearby. But there's only one way to hold you near, to believe in you, darling Lord. May heaven bless you, love you, to love you, to love you, and to please you. There'll be such lovely sights everywhere, but we should keep our eyes only on you, Meher. For being true to you is what you love, then you will guide us to the journey's end. Yes, you will guide us to the journey's end. But there's only one way to hold you near, to believe in you, darling Lord. Make care that you love you, to love you, to love you, and to please you, to love you, to love you, to love you, and to please you.
Many personal stories have come out of the 1958 Sahavas. Here are just a few of them.
One day it so happened, Baba called a few of us to the cabin where he used to give interviews. Calling a group of about 20 people from Andhra, Baba repeatedly told in the hall, don't borrow money to get a garland and put a garland on my neck. Don't borrow. You come to me into the room freely. I took it very seriously, but a friend of mine, A.C.S. Chari, casually told me in our language, Rama Rao, take this 5 rupees, go purchase 3 rupees garland for me and 2 rupees garland for yourself. So the thought was there. Baba said, don't borrow money, but he is giving of his own accord. I am not borrowing. So I purchased 2 garlands. 3 rupees garland I gave to Chari, A.C.S. Chari, and 2 rupees garland I was having in my hands. Baba was using a stick because of that 56 accident, you know. As he was getting into the room, he looked at me in such a serious manner. So when I was just going to garland him or put garland inside, I was looking at his face and I was just shivering, and I put the garland at his feet. He was going inside with that stick, you know, he was having, he threw garland out. So I felt so much of uneasiness, you see, I have not obeyed Baba and Baba has thrown this garland out. So I started crying. I went back to the tin shed and I was started crying. Nobody observed, I am not in the room. But after meeting about 15 or 16 people, Baba asked, where is Rama Rao of Bilaspur? Baba said, Baba, he was here. So everybody was asking, where is Rama Rao? Where is Rama Rao? So somebody said he was going to Padri Kaka's tin shed backside. So they came, they saw me, I was weeping like anything, you know, like that. So they said, Baba calls you. When I went inside, Baba said, what are you doing? Baba, you have thrown my garland. No, I have not thrown your garland. It is I who have acted through A.C.S. Chari. It is I who have allowed you to bring that garland to me, and it is I have thrown that garland. Now you forget everything. He gave an embrace, and on that day, Baba tells me, a day will come, you will garland me every day in the morning. See that is how fortunate I am, His amazing grace.
We were all young and robust, and always had to have some kind of a mischief, So this is exactly what happened. It was on the last day, all the Andhra people were singing all the time. And one after another, it was absolutely impossible to sing and sleep at all. So then we said, all right, let them have that time, and we took off to Arangaon village, We come back somewhere about 1 o'clock, having a very leisure walk, And then they are still singing and still singing. So anyway, we took out another 2-3 hours, So what to do, So then Homa was our gang leader, would always suggest something or the other. Says, I will tell you what to do, Says, what is it? Says, just take one chappal or shoes or whatever it is, only one, not both. Out of both, only take one chappal and just fling it over to the tent. So naturally we did that,
So we would pick up one champal from here, throw that side, mix up all the champals, throw some on the pandap also. And when the gathering was over, I'm sorry to say this, but that was the mischief we played. And when they came out, everybody was searching for champals, their shoes. Where are they?
Somebody must have told Baba that this has happened. And Baba was very angry, He was very angry. Says, these guys, they are doing this to my lovers,
So the message reached Baba. So Baba said, it couldn't be anybody but this Bombay group people, youngsters, who have done this trick. So he didn't say anything, we didn't get any message from there. But when we returned home, there was a telegram waiting, Baba scolding us, what have you done?
When Baba came back to Bombay, Baba called us, gave us a good firing. Says, you guys, you do all these things to my lovers. And then everything was over, But sometimes after some years together, we were told by Anavaz or someone says, after you all went, do you know what happened? Because Baba was laughing and laughing and laughing.
Baba gave out many messages during the Sahavas. Baba discoursed on the false I and the real I, opiumized false saints, and other topics. One of the messages Baba gave during the Sahavas came to be known as Baba's wish.
Love means love, and the lover has to keep the beloved always pleased and happy by keeping the wishes of the beloved. These are the wishes of your beloved, if you take me to be your beloved. Do not shirk your responsibilities, such as home, family, office, jobs.
Attend faithfully to your worldly duties, but keep at the back of your mind that all this is Baba's.
When you feel happy, think, Baba wants you to be happy.
When you suffer, think, Baba wants you to suffer.
Be resigned to every situation and think honestly and sincerely, Baba has placed you in this situation.
With the understanding that Baba is in everyone, try to help and serve others.
I tell you, with my divine authority, that whosoever, anyone and everyone, takes my name at the time of breathing their last, comes to me.
Therefore, do not forget to remember me at the time when you breathe your last.
Unless you take my name, remembering me constantly from now on, and keep it up continuously, you cannot remember me and keep my name on your lips when you drop your body.
Even if you take my name once a day with all your heart and soul, it is sufficient.
You will thus ultimately come to me.
The Pune Bhajan Group and the liberation of CMAB.
I remember that we were told specially to prepare songs for the Sahavas. And in the Bhajan Mandli, there was a lot of commotion because everybody wanted to sing before Baba. So we had done that exercise in Pune itself before we went there. So whenever we got a chance and whenever Baba told us to sing, we would just, communicate with each other and we would flip through the pages of our songbook and then we would start with that song, be it a group song or be it a solo song. And then of course Madhusudan and Pratap and all, they sang very appropriate songs and Baba appreciated. And after each song was sung, Baba would call us, Baba would appreciate, Baba would make the sign, beautiful, I liked it, I give you my love. And then he would even call us, he would embrace us after the song. And it was also during this period, the Sahavas period, that famous ghazal of Simab was sung. And when this ghazal was sung before Baba, Baba was so much engrossed in the ghazal and he had closed his eyes because this ghazal was composed by a great Urdu composer named Simab.
अब क्या बताऊं मैं, अब क्या बताऊं मैं तेरे मिलने से क्या मिला, अब क्या बताऊं मैं तेरे मिलने से क्या मिला, अब क्या बताऊं मैं, अब क्या अब क्या बताऊं मैं तेरे मिलने से क्या मिला, अब क्या बताऊं मैं तेरे मिलने से क्या, अब क्या बताऊं मैं तेरे मिलने से क्या मिला, अब क्या बताऊं मैं तेरे मिलने से क्या मिला, अब क्या बताऊं मैं तेरे मिलने से क्या मिला, अब क्या बताऊं मैं तेरे मिलने से क्या.
Rough translation of that particular ghazal was that Simab was describing what he gained after meeting his beloved, and he says that when I met my beloved master, I gained my object of life. I reached my very destination. I realized everything when I met my beloved.
Sa 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 re sa ni da ni da pa ma 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 ga re sa. अब क्या बताऊं मैं तेरे मिलने से क्या मिला, अब क्या बताऊं मैं तेरे मिलने, मंजिल मिली मुराद मिली मुद्दुआ मिला, मंजिल मिली मुराद मिली मुद्दुआ मिला, सब कुछ मुझे मिला जो तेरा नक्शा मिला, सब कुछ मुझे मिला जो तेरा नक्शा मिला, मंजिल मिली मुराद मिली मुद्दुआ मिला, मंजिल मिली मुराद मिली मुद्दुआ मिला.
Meeting with my beloved was like verily meeting God in human form.
मिली मुराद मिली मुद्दुआ मिला, सब कुछ मुझे मिला जो तेरा नक्शा मिला, खुद बीन खुद शनास मिला, खुद नुमा मिला, खुद बीन खुद शनास मिला, खुद नुमा मिला, इंसान के भेस में, इंसान के भेस में मुझे अक्सर खुदा मिला, इंसान के भेस में मुझे अक्सर खुदा मिला, अब क्या बताऊं मैं तेरे मिलने से क्या मिला, अब क्या बताऊं, अब क्या बताऊं मैं तेरे मिलने से क्या मिला, अब क्या बताऊं मैं तेरे मिलने से क्या मिला, अब क्या बताऊं मैं तेरे मिलने से क्या मिला, अब क्या बताऊं मैं. क्यों ये खुदा के ढूंढने वाले हैं ना मुराद, क्यों ये खुदा के ढूंढने वाले हैं ना मुराद, गुजरा जो मैं हुदूद खुदी से खुदा मिला, गुजरा जो मैं हुदूद खुदी से खुदा मिला, सीमाब को शगुफ्त न देखा तमाम उम्र, सीमाब को शगुफ्त न देखा तमाम उम्र, कम वक्त जब मिला, कम वक्त जब मिला हमें गम आशना मिला, कम वक्त जब मिला हमें गम आशना मिला, अब क्या बताऊं मैं तेरे मिलने से क्या मिला, अब क्या बताऊं.
And then the whole of Simab's life has been spent in grieving and sorrow. And even when I met my beloved, it has just led to the ultimate of sorrow, because the separation was always there.
तेरे मिलने से क्या मिला अब क्या बताऊं मैं, तेरे मिलने से क्या मिला, इरफान गम हुआ मुझे दिल का पता मिला.
So even meeting with the darn beloved is like that, or something like that. So when that was sung, Baba stopped the singing and he says, "Today I've released Simab from illusion." So there was stunned silence everywhere. Just now I've done that. So I've given him liberation. Something like that he said. It was a very profound moment. Everybody clapped and there was a big shout of Avatar Mein Baba Ki Jai. Somebody had been realized here.
On the 17th of February, as well as on the 26th, Baba took the groups up the hill to show them his Samadhi.
For ages adrift throughout this world I've wandered, till I laid my head to rest at Meherabad. Have failed and hopes I squandered are the tears with which I kiss the feet of God. Oh, how I've missed you, though I never knew my song was Meher Baba all along. For 1,000 years I've loved you, and I feel that I always will. But for now, I'm waiting on this hill. For 1,000 years I've loved you, and I feel that I always will. But for now, I'm waiting on this hill.
On this hill I have done my universal work. The stone structure on my right was formerly a water reservoir during the First World War. There is a room inside it in which I had sat in seclusion several times in 1924. There was an iron ladder leading to a window which I used to climb to enter and come out of the room. Shortly I'll send you to the place where my body will be kept after I drop it. Inside it is a puka-built crypt, where for 6 months I stayed in seclusion and fasted on only coffee once a day and water. "70 years after I drop my body, this place will turn into a place of pilgrimage, where lovers of God, philosophers, and celebrities will come to pay homage. How fortunate you all are that you are here in my living presence and could come up the hill with me. Those of you who have not seen the tomb should go there now, one by one, see it, and pay your respects with a firm resolve that you will try your best to give happiness to others at the cost of your own, and that you will love Baba with all your heart. Having made this resolve, try to follow these 2 things honestly."
Without your smile, my dreaming has no sunrise. My longing is the mansion you have shown, where many beloveds came to dust as one rise, and the face in many mirrors is I feel that I always will. But for now, I'm waiting on this hill. For 1,000 years I've loved you, and I feel that I always will. But for now, I'm waiting on this hill.
While atop Meherabad Hill, Dr. Deshmukh insisted on photographs being taken. Baba did not really want photographs to be taken, but agreed to it, saying, "What is the use of having my photograph on paper? It would be best to establish it in one's heart." Baba decided, since photos had been taken with men in 1955, that he would only take photos with women this time. On February 25th, 1958, Baba's 64th birthday was celebrated with his lovers.
Of course, his lovers, those who had come, they said, "Baba, please allow us to celebrate the birthday." And Baba said, "Yes, all right." Now this Arangaon people, they had come. "Baba, allow us to celebrate your birthday." Now, birthday, Baba allowed. Now what happens? At Meherabad, after Baba left, they were so busy in decoration. You would never see such decoration as they did that year. It was such a great thing. On the roadside, they had planted this banana trees. Banana trees they had taken. And not only this, but they had decorated their own car. Now Avatar had no good car, but they just decorated another car. And 3 miles away from Meherabad, they went dancing and singing with decorated car for Baba. And on the way, Baba said to Eraj, "As soon as I reach Meherabad, you take me to my cabin," where Baba would give interview, and then afterwards I would come out because I have to pass motion. So they had made all arrangement, and Baba's car came. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai, Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Nobody knew that Baba was to pass motion. And they wanted that Baba should occupy the decorated car. So then Jai Jaikar, and at the same time singing and dancing.
Blaze lights of victory, blow trumpet of glory, hail Lord of love divine, Meher Baba the Ancient One. This is his holy day of birth. and this the day of our rebirth. This is a day of joy and mirth, the day to transcend birth and death.
Long live Meher, long live Meher, long live Meher, our Savior. Long live Meher.
Baba had to get down from this car. They lifted him and put in another car. He wanted to pass motion immediately, but no, because they were just dancing and slowly the car, very slow, dancing and singing. It took about more than 2 hours to reach Meherabad. And when Baba reached there, so Erach directed to take the car to his private cabin. And when they took him there, then outside, they were all outside. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai, Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. How the avatar should pass motion. So Baba came out and went to the pandal, the meeting pandal.
Then Baba's car came very slowly driven behind. And then Baba entered the pandal. And again everybody sang happy birthday song in English, Gujarati, Marathi.
Baba's car came all well decorated, and we all carried the tray behind Baba's car following him and singing that Parsi song for happy birthday, which goes like this. Hastu ne ramatu saune gamatu saal mubarak ho jo aaj murado tam tane chahiye nawa asal ma fal jo hastu ne ramatu saune gamatu saal mubarak ho jo aaj.
People had gathered in the pandal and Baba was seated on the dais, and for that particular celebration many of the Baba lovers had been to distant places and they had collected water from the sacred rivers in India, and that water was carried in the pitchers, and these pitchers were held to the bamboo, and these bamboos were slung from the shoulders, and these lovers brought these slings in which this sacred water was there collected from rivers like Godavari and Krishna and Bhima, and that was brought. And that particular day, I remember when Baba came to the pandal, the whole pandal reverberated with Avatar Meher Baba ki jai, and Baba was so radiant. And after he had occupied the seat, then this sacred water was placed near him, and it was such a unique event that Baba's feet were washed by the sacred waters of these rivers.
Baba washed his feet in that, and the water was put in that tub. And Baba told us that when you all come here, bow down at me, at my feet, and take a teaspoon and drink it. And we had Sudanand Bharati, and some yogi who was sitting next to Baba. He said, Baba, I have brought the water from the Ganges. Can I pour it in this also? I felt that Baba was not too happy with it, but he took that jar of water and poured it in that tub. Then Baba told us Now when you come to bow down to me, don't drink the water. Dip your hands in that vessel and just run your fingers across the forehead. We were so fortunate that Baba allowed his water from the washing of the feet and we could have it on our foreheads.
On February 26th, the last day of the Sahavas, Baba was driven up Meherabad Hill in the afternoon and met with the women Mandali coming from Meherabad. A train which had been specially arranged to stop at Meherabad was ahead of schedule and arrived at 4 p.m. Baba and the women Mandali drove down to the tracks to meet the train.
We never attended any Sahavas unless Baba particularly asked Mera, and we went. But he did take us at the tail end of the Sahavas when the last groups were leaving. And it was in Meherabad, it was not so windy. But as we traveled closer to Meherabad, we could feel, some of the mad winds that you'll get here blowing. And as we got closer, they got stronger and stronger. And we were thinking, what would the people think, just living out there and all this dust and everything blowing. But somehow they took it in the right spirit. And each one said, we love it blowing like that. We want it to blow so that the dust of his footsteps will be taking with us in our clothes. And I said, what a beautiful thought that was. But we reached, Baba took us to Upper Meherabad. But as we were going past by the Lower Meherabad area, we could see people packing their possessions, their beddings and clothes or whatever it was, their bundles and everything. And, some in bullock carts, some in buses. And there was a lot of activity there. But the car went by, and I don't think that anybody noticed that Baba was in the car. It was exciting to be there and watch them, Then Baba took us to Upper Meherabad to wait the right time. The train had just pulled in, and had stopped at the, not at the level crossing, but stopped where at Amartiti, that area is open which Baba crossed so many times in his lifetime, daily, morning and evening, when he would go up and down from Upper Meherabad to Lower Meherabad, twice a day, in the hot sun, in the dusty wind blowing. And we thought of all that as we went. So we waited in Upper Meherabad till the time came that it should be, the train would be leaving in a short while, and Baba would be there to see the last group off. There was so much of Baba's love in that train. And Baba was stationed just where the photographers had asked him to be, so that he could be seen and the other camera could focus on the train, the people getting up. And it was such a joyful thing that you could feel that how much Baba had filled their hearts, given them such a full Sahavas, which they will be always remembering and taking with them in their hearts. And we stayed in the car, but we were, so joyful to see Baba's flags flying on both sides in the front of the train. You see, the train was facing towards Daund. It was going in that direction. So most probably it must have been the Andhra group, because they and the Gujarati-speaking group were the last ones who came before the Sahavas ended. But they all saw Baba, and their whole focus was on him. And when the whistle blew for the train to go, as they were going, they would pass by Baba, and each one would be waving and calling out Baba's Jai with such wholehearted force. And Baba would say, go happily, take my love with you. And they truly did, because he had filled their cup of joy to the very brim. And we could feel it, even when they were passing by, we could feel that glow that I have seen on people who had been to India and returned to their homes, either in the west or the east. And as they were going, some of them would be joyously singing Baba's bhajans, others would be waving to him, and Baba was really glowing and happy to see it all.
गाते चलो गाते चलो गाते चलो गाते चलो करते चलो काम करते चलो काम करते चलो काम करते चलो नाम जपते चलो नाम जपते चलो सत्य कहते चलो कहते चलो सत्य कहते चलो सत्य कहते चलो झूठ तजते चलो झूठ तजते चलो झूठ तजते चलो झूठ तजते चलो मेहर धन का खजाना बढ़ाते चलो मेहर धन का खजाना बढ़ाते चलो मेहर धन का खजाना बढ़ाते चलो मेहर मेरे बढ़ाते चलो मेहर मेरे बढ़ाते चलो तुम्हें भूलो नहीं
सांसों की माला पे, सांसों की माला पे सिमरू मैं पी का नाम। सांसों की माला पे, सांसों की माला पे सिमर पी का नाम। एक था साजन मंदिर में, एक था प्रीतम मस्जिद में, सांसों की माला पे, सांसों की माला पे सिमरू मैं पी का नाम। प्रीतम का कुछ दोष नहीं है, वो तो है निर्दोष, वो तो है निर्दोष। प्रीतम का कुछ दोष नहीं है, वो तो है निर्दोष, वो तो है निर्दोष। प्रेम की माला जपते जपते हो गई मैं बदनाम। सांसों की माला पे, सांसों की माला पे सिमरू मैं पी का नाम। प्रेम के रंग में ऐसी डूबी, बन गया एक ही रूप, बन गया एक ही रूप। प्रेम के रंग में ऐसी डूबी, बन गया एक ही रूप, बन गया एक ही रूप। प्रेम की माला